Why take a professional approach to Hot Cross Buns? One of the greatest challenges to professional musicians is to transform something that may seem boring or simple into something compelling and meaningful. This is not just for the sake of the audience, but our own sanity. You know, one of the most common mistakes beginners can make, as well as teachers of beginners, is to put off or abandon a musical approach. Finding a way to make music compelling is often a challenge. It's also a skill that we can practice and develop. Developing this process with simple music allows us to focus on the process without being burdened by technical challenges. So let's do that. Forget whether this is easy for you to play or not. Somehow we have to make these notes meaningful. That meaning can be literal or abstract. It can be thoughtful or emotional. Anything to make it more than random noise. Sometimes a melody can be so inspiring that we don't feel the need to search for anything more than that. But most of the time we need to put in some effort. And even if we don't need to, putting in that extra effort is what professionalism is all about. Finding meaning in the music can take the form of theoretical analysis, research, or looking inward to find a way to relate to the music.
Hot Cross Buns.
I gotta say, at first glance, Hot Cross Buns does not touch my soul. So let's learn about it. Research does not have to be terribly in-depth to yield inspiration. However, you'll likely find yourself doing more research when you are inspired. Anyway, the nursery rhyme Hot Cross Buns is first known to have been published in 1767 and seems to have been derived from the cries of street vendors who sold them.
Get your hot cross buns here! 1 penny, 2 penny, hot cross buns!
There are many variations to the words and the melody of the song, leaving its origins a bit of a mystery. Hot cross buns themselves are even more mysterious. To begin with, are cross buns always hot? Or is the song about cross buns that happen to be hot? While there are references to cross buns here and there, they are almost exclusively referred to as hot cross buns. The buns are traditionally served warm, but they are also spiced. So it could be that the hotness is actually not about temperature, but cinnamon. Alexa, what spices are in hot cross buns?
Warm, fragrant spices such as cinnamon, cloves, and nutmeg are used to flavor hot cross buns.
And the spices are said to represent those used to embalm Jesus' corpse. And while the cross on these buns are often associated with the crucifixion, there's evidence that spiced buns marked with a cross actually predate Christianity. Hot cross buns were thought to ward off evil spirits and were hung from kitchen ceilings. And they were thought to prevent ships from catching fire when tied to the mast. There was so much Catholic mysticism around hot cross buns that Queen Elizabeth I actually outlawed the sale of them, aside from on Christmas, Good Friday, and at burials, because that makes sense. Of course, you can always play first and then ask questions, but all this thinking has got me itching to play some hot, spicy bun music. As I mentioned, there's a lot of different versions of this song out there, but I wanted to pick something that was straight from a beginning band book. I checked several of them, and they all had something very similar to this. That's not Hot Cross Buns. This is Hot Cross Buns. Can you imagine a street vendor trying to make a living by going, Hot Cross Buns, 1 penny, 2 penny. Hot Cross Buns, more like cold mushed poop. I get that you want to keep things slow and simple for beginners, but do you really want to teach them the wrong rhythms? I mean, this is a song that a lot of people already know, and by taking notes and stretching them out to be 2 or even 4 times as many beats as they're supposed to be, you're practically begging them to rush. On page 2 of the Standard of Excellence.
More like standard of trash.
I know that there are different versions, but this doesn't sound in any way like something that would sell street food. So now what? I'm in a situation where I clearly don't like the song I'm being asked to play. It's a boring misrepresentation of a song that's frankly a bad influence on children. But I'm a professional, so I must find a way to breathe life into this garbage. In some instances, I could certainly change the version that I'm playing. I could make my own arrangement, add ornaments, change notes and rhythms. But for the sake of this video, I'm gonna stick with what has been written. One of my favorite techniques when I find something uninspiring is to make fun of it, overdo it, ham it up. You'd be surprised how often mocking a song can lead to something that really works. Hot Cross Buns, Hot Cross Buns. This could certainly work in some situations. I mean, I could imagine, especially if I wasn't expecting it, I would certainly enjoy it and remember it if someone played like this at an otherwise boring concert. But what if we go in the opposite direction? Remember, this song comes from the cries of street vendors. Maybe this version is meant to be more of a bittersweet nostalgia for the days of yore. Hot Cross Buns. Maybe I'm the street vendor and down on his luck and can't sell a hot spicy bun to save my life, and the song has become more of a seller's lament. Hot Cross Buns, 1 a penny too. It definitely sounds better. I'm more engaged. Any of these interpretations could work, as could many others. They absolutely sound better than if I had put no thought into it. My ear is more active while I'm playing, and I'm less bored while doing so, and frankly less angry at this very poorly written rendition. You see, the professional approach isn't about playing the right notes. It's about creating sound that is worth listening to. Ultimately, our deep dive into these hot, spicy buns isn't about playing one tune, but about building habits that keep us inspired and sharpen our ears. Now, some may say, that's not really what professionals do. They don't have time to Wikipedia everything. To that I say, professionals do not always act professionally. And those who are not professionals are well capable of approaching things as if they were. Well, I certainly hope you've enjoyed this. Until next time, I'm Scott Blakely with Blakely Bassoon Studios, and happy practicing. Oh.
Hot Cross